Hi, I'm Carledo. Welcome to Eatery Almanac. Today I'll be making something I saw first on Idolmaster Season 1, Episode 7. Yayoi makes something she calls a bean sprout party in like a home skillet, but I can't live without protein, so I'm adding chicken. Welcome to Carledo's Chicken and Bean Sprout Party. Enjoy. For today's recipe, you'll be needing chicken and bean sprouts. Those are the only two things that go in it. I've had a lot of people ask me if you need vegetables for it. No, this will fill you up. We're using white meat that's breast, only 1.5 large breasts to 1.5 pounds of bean sprouts. They equal about 1 to 1 for some reason. It's just an easy way to remember it. You'll be cooking that in a wok, or the first time I did it was with an electronic skillet. That works just fine. I'm going to try wok for the first time today. You'll be cooking in that with your chopsticks. That's actually a lot of fun. Something new to try out. You'll need a knife for cutting up your chicken and a cutting board for cutting up your chicken. And your sauce will comprise mainly of teriyaki, sesame oil, and Worcestershire sauce. And there's a certain number I want to give to you there because sesame oil is very strong and the teriyaki is a main base, so that's something to keep in mind. You're going to want a lot more teriyaki than sesame oil, but they're all kind of necessary. Your dry rubs will consist of seasoned salt, onion powder, garlic powder, black pepper, and basil, all of which are optional. As you can see, I have cut the breasts into long strips, and then from there, I'm going to cut them widthwise, as many as I can at a time safely. Try and make them bite-size. And that's my end goal here, is easy bite-size chicken in your bean sprouts. And remember, it's going to shrink a little as you cook it, but it should be okay. Make sure you wash your bean sprouts very thoroughly. I've done that off screen because it's boring. From here, you can just start throwing in however much you want to cook in this particular batch. Throw in a little bit of bean sprout, throw in a little bit of chicken. Assuming you have a better cutting board, this works a lot better. Yeah, that's probably good for our first batch. Just show off to get used to what I'm doing here. From here, you'll be putting in 6 parts teriyaki. Eventually. I usually go with a thinner sauce, but this was more expensive and actually really tasty. To 2 quarts Worcestershire sauce, which this bottle in particular comes out super easy, so careful. To 1 part sesame oil. I may have mentioned earlier, sesame oil is extremely strong. When you smell something strong and burning as you're cooking this, it's very likely the sesame oil. So be very careful with how you do that. Spread that out a little bit. And that's where the chopsticks come in. But first, I think we'll mess around with the dry. A little bit of seasoning salt. Notice I did the liquids first. It's because if you pour your liquids over your dry rub, it's just going to wash it off. Because physics. And you can see I'm just doing a slight glazing with all this. It's nothing super important. I didn't coat the pan with anything. The natural grease from the chicken and some of the sauces will keep it from sticking to the bottom of the pan, and that's partially the reason you will be moving this like crazy throughout your cooking experience. I don't think I put the onion in that, but I don't care. It doesn't all need onion. Onion's a little bit of a strong flavor anyway. And again, we're just trying with this first batch. I've already got a little bit of bubbling. That means I'm getting a little bit of caramelization from my teriyaki. And this is the rest of your day. You're moving it around. You're making sure you don't burn anything. And what you're looking for when you're done is a basic chicken. You know how chicken looks when it's done. We've been here before. But bean sprouts are a different story. They'll turn translucent and they'll lose that extreme crunch. They'll become a little softer, but not wimpy. You'll see when we get there. I'll show you. Batch takes a minute. Oh yeah, see? It's gonna feel really calm at first, You're just going to be waiting on the first one to get nice and cooked. But by the end of it, it's the same thing I experienced in the frying everything episode. Eventually you'll be frantic. You'll be constantly moving stuff in and out. And you noticed I talked about batches again. Well, usually that's because the skillet you're working on isn't enough to grab all the pound of bean sprouts and large chicken breast that you grabbed. One of the nice parts, cutting chicken up to this nice bite-size size, is it cooks through nice and quick. You can see it's already starting to brown on the other side nicely. With this much sauce in it, I can afford to turn these over, which is another stage that I'm usually pretty frantic about. But again, we're early on. It's not a big deal yet. If you really want to, you can use that spatula. It's not going to hurt anything, I don't think. See, knew I missed a piece. Of course, smell test is always appropriate. If it smells too strong in one particular flavor, add something else. Don't be shy. Remember, it's your dish. See, these bean sprouts are starting to get a little shriveled and they're losing the white coloration. That's good. Chicken's about halfway there. If you're really unsure, take a chopstick, just jab at it until you can. It shouldn't be chewy. You can tell immediately with the chopsticks, and that's another reason that's kind of nice. I know if you're super proficient with chopsticks, you can cut them in half. Clearly, this piece isn't ready yet. But yeah, bean sprouts are starting to look real good. And if you're worried about a vegetarian or somebody who doesn't like chicken, you can honestly just serve them the bean sprouts. Again, this was made originally without chicken, and if they're not too picky, they can just eat the bean sprouts around the chicken. It's not really a big deal. This is a really good recipe for just having people stand in the kitchen and talk to you while you cook. A, because a lot of people in the house will go, hey, what's that smell? Is it done yet? And you actually have to serve it up just whenever you get stuff in, which is why I have a serving plate off to the side. And B, it's good to have something to take your mind off of while you're mindlessly prattling at bean sprouts, which this looks about ready. So, I'm gonna do a transfer real quick. Take as much as you can. Oh, impressive, Carledo. I need to move that closer. You know what? This works too. Try not to get all of your sauce, because believe it or not, it's better off if you just leave some of it in there. Alright, now that I've made a horrendous mess, let's continue on to the next batch. We should mention I'm cooking over a medium-high heat, so this will move fairly quick. And as you can see, it's already bubbling up. I need to decide how many bean sprouts I want in this, which I'm just going to take a hearty handful, smash it down with anger. I know, I got to work on my anger. And then, as much chicken as I am comfortable cooking in it, I've still got a fair amount of bean sprouts left, so let's call that good. And again, they don't have to be perfect. It's just because the chicken and the bean sprouts cook at the same rate for some reason. I haven't figured that one out. I just got super lucky. Okay, now that we've got everything spread out nice and easy, let's add that sauce again. It's 6 parts teriyaki. Easy, girl. Hold on there. Whoa. To 2 parts Worcestershire sauce. To a single part of sesame oil. Oh my god! Okay, it's a 3-part sesame oil. That's going to be a strong batch. That was wrong. Wow. And all your seasonings are purely to taste. little bit of the seasoned meat tenderizer, a little bit of that black pepper. Honestly, black pepper is probably a really good thing to drown out some of that sesame oil I just doused it in. And let's give that a little bit of a stir. The more sauce you can leave in from the old ones, the better. It won't overpower the dish. It really won't. It just helps the next batch along. This one has a little bit more sauce to bean sprouts. That's fine. I'm sure it'll be fine. On the other hand, remember I was telling you earlier, modify the dish as you smell fit? That is a little sesame oil heavy, so I'm just going to go ahead and add more teriyaki and Worcestershire because it's just not coating the way I want it to, and I haven't quite evened it out yet. All these things shrink as you're cooking them. Keep that in mind. So by the time this batch is done, it's going to look a lot less impressive. I did it. That's a very hard thing to teach yourself. Let me tell you. I think our next batch is ready. And as every good Scotsman knows about bean sprouts, they didn't have to be perfect. You see, it's still got a couple that are a little bit of crunch, it's still got a little bit of colour to them, but you can still see through them and they're edible. And that's all that really matters. So I think that's our next batch. Go ahead and just throw that right into our serving dish, which in a typical kitchen, somebody's probably bugged you by now, because you can just see the steam coming off of this. Oh, is it ready yet? And you have to go, no, Muppet, I randomly picked up as a roommate off of Craigslist. They go, oh, gas planet! And they run off with their Jimmy Neutron catchphrase. All right, and another batch on wrap. Do this until you're sick of it or run out of ingredients. Coincidentally, bean sprouts and raw chicken don't keep very long, so you're probably better off just cooking all of it. Stop it. Alright, cool. It's about 2 more even batches I think we're going to get. And I'm pretty sure this is going to have the last of the chicken in it, meaning the last of it's just going to be bean sprouts and sauce. Which isn't a problem, especially if you have vegetarian or people who don't like chicken in your house for some reason. Maybe they just run in through the window, they're like, hey, you got any food? And for some reason, instead of calling the cops, you're like, yeah, here you go. Enjoy. You say resigned to the fact that someone just robbed you of the meal you've been working on. Keep in mind, if you're doing this on a skillet, it's easier to keep the sauce on it. You'll be taking either a spatula or chopsticks, whatever these weird things are, and you'll be picking them up and putting them in your serving dish. Whereas here, I've had the liberty of pouring with a wok. I haven't had that chance until now. I've either been using an overly sized skillet or the electric skillet. So, I'm getting a little spoiled. If anything, I could probably pour the sauce back in here. You ready to see something really fucked up? Ah, ain't gonna work. It's totally not gonna work, Carledo. Why are you still doing it? It's not gonna work. It's kind of working. It's kind of working. It's gonna leave a hell of a mess. Alright. Spank me and call me Sally, I'll be damned. Quick disclaimer, while I am putting in this last batch, this is not a how-to on how to use a wok. This is literally the first time in my life I have used a wok. It's just how to make this recipe. So if somebody who knows how to use a wok is currently just grabbing their face and screaming, I apologize. Comment some tips and I would love to hear them. And finally the last batch. Give it the old strainer spanking. Throw in any remaining chicken, of which we have none. And that old 6-to-1 ratio. Assuming we have any teriyaki left. And if you're cooking on that skillet, you should have some sauce left over in the bottom, so this will be a little bit easier on you. But for me, that's the end of that bottle of teriyaki. Some generic Worcestershire sauce, and of course, family 100% pure sesame oil. Squeezed out of real sesames. And I think that is it. We are ready to start serving this up to our unsuspecting victims. I mean, guests, honored guests. And this is how you'd ordinarily do it. You just take chopsticks, plop it in. Or you could just completely screw it up like that. Of course, we're done cooking. I don't want to get anything stuck to the wok. So, I'm done trying. Thanks for watching this episode of Eatery Almanac. If you enjoyed it, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And of course, there's always other episodes of Eatery Almanac. If there's something you want to see us attempt, go ahead and be sure to comment, and we'll give it our damnedest, because that's all we can promise. Remember, the next time you're trying to feed a large Japanese family and all you have is bean sprouts, consider the bean sprout party. Love you, Yayoi. Take care, everybody. That's how easy it's gonna be. It's fine and dandy, it's easy. Like taking candy from a baby. Primitive country, da-da-da-da. Rich in minerals, you pay them with beads. Bribe the generals, it's easy, it's so easy. Like taking candy from a baby.